We'll go up here. We'll go up here.
Oh no, it's a good.
Oh!
Car crash.
Like Jurassic Park. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Benchwarmers Podcast. As usual, I'm joined by my coach, Josh Sykes.
Hi.
Right, this week being joined by our cameraman, Jack, in the back.
Morning,
Ryan. But yeah, as you see, we're doing something a bit different this week. We're doing a carpool podcast, something we might be trying out a bit more, but we just thought we'd bring in something new to it.
Seeing as it's season 2.
Yeah, we've seen season 2 and seeing as Sykes can now drive, thank God for that.
What's I'm talking about it?
Yeah.
Well, why would I stop talking about it, lads?
And of course the championship and our predictions on how it's going to end up. So we're going to start off with the championship. We haven't really prepared for this podcast, to be honest with you. We've been more worried about the camera and how it's going to fall off, because before we nearly crashed because it nearly fell down by Sykes' feet. We've got blue tack everywhere, it's going to ruin the car. Yeah, has anyone got a pick for who they think is going to finish bottom of the table?
Well, I need to know who's in it first. Run through the teams.
Right, that's a good
Run
start.
through the teams.
Barnsley, Birmingham City, Blackburn, Bournemouth,
Where's this
Brentford.
championship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bristol City, Cardiff City, Coventry City, Derby, Huddersfield Town, Luton Town, Middlesbrough, Millwall, Norwich City, Nottingham Forest, Preston North End, QPR, Reading, Rotherham, Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea, Stoke, Watford and Wickham.
Wickham finishing bottom.
Any reason why?
They've just come up from League One. They've not got an amazing squad. And I know they only just came up in the playoffs as well, so they're not like I might like cut out of this. They've obviously not got the best squad in the world, so just got to make sure that they actually improve. They've got to bring in signings, and you can tell me who they brought in, but well, maybe you can't tell me who they brought in.
They brought in Uche Ikpeatu, of course, from Hearts. He was a bit of an alright signing. He was playing for Cambridge United about 2 seasons ago, and he was doing decent down there. I didn't have a great season at Hearts. Obviously, they got relegated due to the coronavirus pandemic, which wasn't great. Alongside that, they brought in Ryan Tapazzoli from Hull City, which is a decent signing. Was playing at Championship last season. Daryl Horgan from Hibernian. Curtis Anderson, recently released from, I believe it was Man City, as a new goalkeeper. They've got a decent squad, I think. However, I'm going to disagree with Sykes here and say I'm going to put Luton Town.
I was going to put Luton at the bottom.
As bottom of the league.
They didn't have a good season last season.
They were very, very lucky to say it last season. Obviously, it was a great achievement for them to even reach. Do you want me to check that one? Right. It was a great achievement for them to even reach the championship from obviously the rise of the leagues. In terms of signings, just a second. I don't know if they brought anyone decent in. They brought in James Bree, of course, from I believe it was Aston Villa on a permanent after his loan deal last season. Tom Lockyer coming in from Bristol Rovers is a decent sign alongside Jordan Clark from Accrington Stanley. They're not bringing in players who have really championship quality at the moment, which they probably do need, especially because the squad isn't exactly firing on all cylinders right now. I just think they need more, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'd put Luton Town as finishing 23rd. They're obviously, they are going to go down because, like you said, they were lucky to stay up last year, but I don't think they'll come bottom. I do believe that'll be Wickham. They've just, Luton, in my opinion, are just a better side than Wickham, to be fair. I think most teams are.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 for me, 23rd is Luton.
23rd, Jack, do you want to go on, Mick, or?
I put Wickham at 23rd. Yeah. I reckon. Yeah, obviously they came up from League One last season and had an absolute quality season, but I just don't think they're a championship team.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
About to get very warm in this car now.
I'm going to actually go for a bit different. I'm going to go for Sheffield Wednesday, who obviously starting the league with, I think, a minus 12-point deduction.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday, I forgot about them.
Yeah, we saw Bolton do it last season, they couldn't stay up. I don't think Sheffield Wednesday are going to be able to. They've brought in some decent signings. They brought in Josh Windass yesterday from Wigan, Shea Dunkley from Wigan, Elias Kachunga from Huddersfield Town.
So much for being loyal.
Izzy Brown coming in alongside.
Again, so much for being loyal.
Fisayo Deli Bashiru. Yeah, they've got bloody hell, a massive voice break. They've got a very decent squad. It's just that point deduction which I don't think they're going to be able to overcome it. It's obviously
Red light man.
Yep,
Thank you, Jack.
It's obviously a big thing to overcome is that deduction, just because it'll get the mindset of the players, and even though they've got a decent side, it's going to be hard for them, in all honesty.
Crack on, come on, you do next.
22nd place, I'm going to go Wickham. I screw with these two. Wickham, they're not a championship club, if being completely honest. They've brought in decent players, but next season they're playing up front with back in Fenway, and he's not. I've got it. He's not even really a League 2 player. To be honest with you, he's got the quality, perhaps at League One, but I mean, he made that final all about himself and he barely even played in it. Which I said out there.
I don't know why I just waved, then it's a red light.
But yeah, Wickham 22nd for me.
22nd for me is Sheff Wednesday. Obviously, they've got the minus 12 goal difference, not goal difference points, and I don't really think they'll have enough in the squad to be able to get enough points back at the end of the day. I think championship-wise, you need around about 54 points to stay up. I think it is. Yeah. Which would mean they need to get 66. Do I see them getting 66?
No.
So yeah, in my opinion, they're going to finish 22nd. Where are we?
21st, yeah.
No, 22nd.
22nd. Yeah, moving on to 21st position then. Did you agree with Jack?
Yeah.
Moving on to 21st position, I'm going to go for Rotherham United.
I'd say Rotherham as well.
Yeah.
Just got promoted from the League One. The players they've brought in so far aren't really fantastic. Mikael Miller, the new striker coming in from Hamilton Academical, who were, I think, playing in, I could be wrong about it, it's a Scottish Championship last season.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Kieran Sadlier coming from Doncaster. Angus MacDonald, who is an absolute inspiration. The guy got cancer, he overcame it to play football again at Hull. He's just, what a man. They've also got Wes Harding coming in, and obviously Jamal Blackman's coming from Chelsea.
Oh,
He's actually a quality keeper.
Yeah, I think he could be massive for them this season. He could be the difference in them staying up.
yeah.
However, it's Rotherham, they're a bit of a yo-yo club right now between League One and Championship, and it's going to be difficult for them. I think they've still got Paul Warne in charge, whatever his name is. I think he's a great manager. I really like him. I love him at Bradford, to be honest with you.
You'd love anyone at Bradford.
I would love anyone at Bradford. Yeah, any thoughts?
No, I'm kind of half concentrating, half listening. So no, I do agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving on to 20th.
I'm trying to find a club that
Thank you.
I believe can be finishing in 20th. So in 20th position, I'm going to go for a bit of a shock one. I'm going to go for Blackburn Rovers.
Ooh.
I think Blackburn last season had a decent season and starting building towards the playoffs. However, the link with losing Adam Armstrong, who's linked with a return to Newcastle United. Bradley Dack's not been himself since his injury, and he's just not really got back to full form. The players have brought in so far, they've only brought in one goalkeeper. It's Thomas Kaminski from Gent, which could be a decent player, but I've never heard of him.
No.
Don't know anything about
Is he
him.
Polish?
Belgian, I believe.
Close enough.
They've lost quite a few decent players as well. Richard Smallwood's going to Hull. That wasn't close enough.
I just wanted Jack's reaction in the mirror.
Smallwood's gone to Hull. Samuel Danny Graham, who was obviously a bit of a club legend. Sam Hart, Jason Lewa, Christian Walton, all being released, and I think it's just they need more players if they're going to be able to refill it. I don't rate the manager Tony Mowbray. Obviously, I don't know if you two saw on Twitter with what's his name, Charlie Mulgrew.
Who's that?
He was Blackburn captain. He got promoted to the Championship, and then they completely just shut him out. He got sent out on loan to Wigan, got relegated with them. He's not been the same since.
It's a bit hard on him.
Yeah, he put on Twitter saying how angry he was with Blackburn and how he felt betrayed, which is massive.
I would too.
Yeah. I just think Mowbray's not a very good manager, to be honest. And I know a lot of Blackburn fans will disagree with that, but
So the camera out is dropped.
yeah, not for me.
Thank you.
Go. Yeah.
19th.
19th, 20th.
We've just done 20th.
Yeah. 20th position, I'm going to go Barnsley. Obviously, very lucky to survive on the last day last season. But the players they brought in, they needed a big roster of new players if they're going to possibly have a chance of staying up.
Yeah, they did. They do.
They've only brought in one player, which is Dominic Fraser from LASK, a right winger. Never heard of him, to be honest with you. It could be a decent player for all we know, but we don't. Have you ever heard of Dominic Fraser?
Never heard of him.
Yeah, I think Barnsley, they need new players. Obviously, they've got Conor Chapman up top, who's an absolutely outstanding footballer and probably the most sexiest footballer alive.
Right. There's no need for that, was there?
No, but then again, they've lost Malik Wilkes, who's gone to Hull. Radlinger's gone back to his homeland of Austria to rejoin Reed. Cameron McGeehan was the big player leaving. He's gone to KV Ostend alongside Toby Sibic. I just think they need more players, to be honest with you.
61 appearances, 40 goals, like Dominic Fraser.
Exactly. Just that.
61 appearances and 14 goals he got for LASK.
Which isn't terrible.
Within 2 seasons.
To say the least. The camera's going to go here.
It's not, don't worry.
We got it.
There's a lot of bumps up here, so it very may well go up here. We shall find out.
Oh, great. Good job we came up this road then. Yeah, Barnsley need more quality.
Yeah,
to survive. On to 18th position then. I'm going to go for... I know it's going to be a bit controversial one with Josh, but I'm going to go for Huddersfield Town.
Yeah.
Screw you.
Huddersfield, thoughts?
Right, so yes, they may very well finish quite low down, but I was actually going to put them probably about 15th, 14th maybe, potentially edging towards that mid-table, purely for the fact that I think Carlos Corberán, by the way we're playing in pre-season, by the way we have been playing, it looks like he's trying to play some attacking football. It's something that maybe Huddersfield we haven't seen in a little while, in just being like purely attacking. So I'm looking forward to the season under him, but I don't agree with how low down you've put him. I think we're going to finish probably about 15th, 14th.
Yeah, I rate Corberán as a manager. Obviously we were out when the Bradford played Huddersfield, so we didn't really watch the game. However, looking back at highlights, I think they do play a good game. I like it. I always thought he was a decent coach at Leeds. Sorry. And he deserved a bit of a bigger opportunity, which he's got at Huddersfield now.
Oh, you call him a big club?
I just don't. I'm not impressed by some of their signings. So
Neither am I.
Danny Ward is a striker, but he's a bit. I hate to say it, he's past it for me, even though he's 28 years old. I just think. I don't know. He's just. I think Huddersfield can do a lot better than Danny Ward. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, fun fact about Danny Ward: he is the last Huddersfield player to score a professional hat trick.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
And that was in 2015.
God.
Pretty
They brought in the goalkeeper Joe Pereira, who, judging from Hearts fans, is an absolutely shocking signing.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it all over Twitter. They're absolutely saying he's the worst keeper they've seen in decades at Tynecastle. Not great then. Obviously,
I just like him because he's a Manchester United player.
Why does that mean you like?
What?
That mean you like?
Yeah, he's signed his contract to Man U.
Oh. Yeah, I just think they need to bring more players in if they're going to be wanting the chance to really push on and improve from the Cowleys of last season. Obviously, if you want to hear more about our thoughts on Huddersfield, you can go check out our previous season 1 podcast, which we did with Stephen Chicken. Yeah.
Next position.
On to what league position?
I have no idea. We should probably start keeping track of this.
I think 17th.
Yeah.
I think 16, 17, something like that.
Yeah, I think for 17th, I think it is. I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for Preston North End.
Yeah.
I think Preston, again, they're a team last season who were decently pushing for the playoffs. Do you know where we are?
Yeah.
I've got no idea where we are.
I'm legit just doing a circle.
Preston were doing decent last season, obviously pushing for the playoffs. However, they needed to add some quality to be able to go to the playoffs, but they've just brought back Josh Ginelli from his loan at Hearts, and he's instantly gone back to Hearts on a permanent deal, which he could have been a massive player for them. And other than that, they've literally brought in no one new, and I think they needed players, to be honest with you. The link with having Nugent leave to join the League One side, I believe. They've had Connor Simpson leave. They've had the club captain Tom Clark depart for Salford City, which is a massive sign for Salford, but we'll talk about them later, obviously. Yeah, I think they just need to bring some players in because they've not signed anyone yet, and right now they're going to struggle if they don't, because there's a lot of improvements going on in the Championship right now.
Yeah. 15th.
15th, I'm going to go for QPR.
Yeah, that's a shout.
That is a shot, yeah.
Just lost the star man and their only really decent player, Eberechi Eze.
Watch our Premier League predictions about him.
Yeah, and our England podcast which we did recently. We talk about him a lot. He's just had his move confirmed to Crystal Palace for approximately £16 million.
Quite a lot for him.
Yeah, they've also lost Grant Hall to fellow Championship side Middlesbrough. Tony Leinster has gone back to Germany to join Hamburg. Lost Mark Pugh, Angel Rangel, what a name, Luke Amos and Jordan Hugel have all departed the club. And well, while they brought Amos back on a permanent deal for $1 million, that could be a decent signing, they haven't really improved, and they need to bring in someone to replace Eze because right now they haven't got it. George Thomas coming in from Leicester as an attacking midfielder, however, he's never really played at Championship level, and I don't think he can put that much risk in a youngster. Lyndon Dykes, a striker who never really did it at Livingston, got a goal, but is coming to QPR in Championship for $2 million, and he needs to be the new number 9 that they're going to be looking at. Rob Dickey is a fantastic signing in my opinion though from Oxford.
No jokes, Josh. No jokes, Josh.
Just to keep mouth shut. Dickey was debatably the best centre back in League One last season.
Was he?
Yeah, there was a lot of interest from a lot of Championship sides. I think Middlesbrough.
By any chance was he in the centre of a back three?
I have no idea. We got to the playoff final with Oxford.
Does no one get that joke? God does.
But yeah, what a signing that is for QPR to get him against competition. But again, the need to replace Eze because without him, the team is lacking severe quality. Talking of lacking severe quality. Sorry, do you two have anything other than QPR?
No, QPR's a shout.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
I think we're in 16th place now, but I'm going to go for Reading FC.
We're in 14th, aren't we?
14th? Are we at that lot now?
Yeah, I swear we're in like 15th, 14th, something like that.
Wherever we are, we'll work it out afterwards.
The table will be there?
Oh, God, the book of school. Anyway.
There, somewhere, the table will
Yeah, it'll be somewhere. We'll work it out. Reading, they haven't really brought in any decent players, as harsh as that sounds. Obviously, Ovie Ejaria, his move was made permanent this summer, but that was agreed a long time ago as he joins from Liverpool for approximately 3.5 million, decent signing. Josh Laurent has come in the free transfer from Shrewsbury. He was always an alright player for Shrewsbury, however he never really caught the eye, so it's a bit of a strange signing for Reading. However, I hope he does well, to be honest with you. We could see a League One playmaker start to step up. But yeah, I mean, Reading haven't really added enough quality for me. They've got a decent team. Obviously, however...
Why didn't you indicate?
Rodrid. The big problem for Reading is they've lost a decent player in Danny Loader, who was linked with Crystal Palace, has officially joined Porto for on a free transfer, sorry, which is a massive loss. They could have got quite a lot of money for him.
I forgot there was a Sainsbury's there. Sorry about that.
Isn't it here? Why so many
There's a school down here on your right. There's Cumbersall Primary there.
Where is BBG?
Is BBG around here?
I don't know where we are.
Yeah, we're going down Oakwell Hall.
Along with that, Tyler Blackett has joined Nottingham Forest. They've lost a lot of these players like Jordan Beta, who obviously started his career at Reading as a finally left at 26 years age. Charlie Adam, the most old 34 looking year old man you'll ever miss me.
Oh, they've got Charlie Adam?
Yeah.
Wait, what's team in about here?
Reading.
Oh, right, it's all about Reading, right, okay.
Yeah, he's on trial at Bolton, I think.
Is it?
But, yeah.
I am driving. There's no one going 42 along here. See, 28, 29. There we go, good speed. Thank you, I do. It's my driving. I've got a black box now.
Right, moving on to the next couple. I'm going to go Cardiff City. Again, I think they were pushing for playoffs last time.
So I'm going to put Huddersfield, wherever this is now, this is where Huddersfield are finishing because I know it's about mid-table.
Right. Cardiff then, they've only brought in Kiefer Moore from Wigan, who playing in relegated wing tight. He's a big target man. I think he's like 6'4" or something like that. He's known for being a bit of a what's the word? That's the word, but I don't want to say.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a no-nonsense striker, if that makes sense. They've also brought in Jordi Osei-Tutu, I believe he was on loan at Swindon last season, did a decent job down there as a right back. They clearly needed a right back. However, lost Danny Ward to Huddersfield, of course.
He's not exactly a massive loss, is it?
Yeah, you can have some. But other than that, they've not really sold them and not really brought him in. It's just a bit of a mediocre transfer window player of Cardiff. Why do you think Huddersfield are going to finish?
Because I don't think it's about mid-table right now. So I can sort of this is like where we're going to be finishing. If I'm honest, we're not aiming for high, we're not aiming for low. We're aiming for mid-table. Sorry, I genuinely have no. Oh, we're going towards Bradford, are we? Right, okay. I'm not driving to Bradford. I just say that this seems to be where we're headed because that road was closed. We're now in Birkinshaw. Yeah, anyway, Huddersfield will finish wherever this is now because it's about mid-table. Yeah, we're not aiming high, we're not aiming low. Yeah, it's about right, if I'm honest. There's nothing.
His car in the middle of the road.
Right, okay, as you do. It's comfortable. We're not going to be in any danger, but at the same time, we definitely are not battling for promotion.
Yes, then in the next position, I'm going to put Millwall, the absolute.
Where are we going? Where do I need to be going?
We've brought in some decent signings.
I know, but we'll go towards Leeds. I'm in this lane now. We'll go towards Leeds.
Right. They've brought in some decent. So we've got Nando's.
No.
They've brought in some very decent sides there. Troy Parrott has joined from Tottenham Hotspur on a season-long loan. He's going to be a very good signing, I believe, at this level. Obviously, he's touted by Spurs fans want to see him play in the Premier League for them. For being a younger prospect coming for their youth academy. He could be very decent. Along with that, they brought in Ryan Woods, now a permanent transfer since he was on loan last season from Stoke. Mason Bennett's transfer, I believe, is being made permanent by Derby County. obviously he'll be happy with that move. Obviously, was very out of favour at Derby. Along with that, Scott Malone, who was playing for Derby under 23s last season, former Huddersfield, I think he is.
Yeah, he's useless.
Yeah,
he's a shocking player.
Scott Malone, and he's moved to Millwall on loan for a season. Bit of a strange signing that. In terms of departures, they've lost Adrian O'Brien, who's officially moved to Sunderland. Again, the player who's come for their youth system and has finally left. Jason McCarthy's moved to Wycombe's been made permanent, and that's really it, to be honest. Millwall are a weird side.
Oh, I know where we are. Sorry, I couldn't do on driving lessons. I know where we are.
I really like the manager. I forgot who it is now. Oh, Gary Rowett.
Maybe.
Yeah, Gary Rowett, their manager. I really like him. I think he's nice.
This is 40.
A nice style of football. I think really at Millwall he can get him playing. However, I just think they've got a striker. They've got a midfielder with Ryan Woods on a permanent deal. They need a better defence because Malone isn't the answer. Definitely not.
Right.
And I like
third exit. Sorry, I'm trying to work out where we are.
And I've completely lost track of thought now, so just move on to the next club. While we're here then, while we're in Leeds, we'll talk about Middlesbrough.
And we're not in Leeds, and why would we talk about Middlesbrough when we're
I have
Leeds?
no link. I mean, we are technically Leeds, so welcome to Leeds, Sonny, right there. Wait, I'm just letting focus while I'm going on a roundabout because I'm terrified.
It's fine, I know where we are.
Go see Steve. Anyway, on to Middlesbrough then. Obviously, they rejuvenated under Neil Warnock last season after he came out of retirement to take over the club. In terms of signings, they haven't really brought anyone in. They've only brought in Grant Hall from QPR. He was a decent defender. I think he could do very well there. However, they need more, to be honest with you. Marcus Brown, I think, could be a massive player for them. Returns from his loan at Oxford, help them get to the playoff final, of course. However, saying that, they've lost some big names. Patrick Roberts has gone back to Manchester City, and I think he's gone Leeds. I could run him out, I've no idea. Ravel Morrison has gone back to Sheffield United, was never a big signing anyway. And the big one is Daniel Ayala has been released by the club alongside Adam Clayton and George Friend. Clayton and Friend have both gone to fellow Championship clubs, so Ayala is a big miss for them because he's a massive defender, to be fair.
Oh, here's the right turn. This is what I wanted. Sorry, lads.
Any thoughts?
No, because I was trying to work out where this right turn was.
Yeah. Moving on to the next club then. I honestly have lost complete track of thought, to be completely honest.
I think we're at 11th.
11th position then. I'm going to go Swansea City. Again, a team who I think will have an outside chance of the playoffs, like Millwall, for example, and like Middlesbrough under Warnock. However, I can't remember who the manager is of Swansea, but I don't like him. That's all I remember about him. I think it's Steve Cooper or something like that. I could be wrong. I'm just not a big fan of his work, and I think when they lost Graham Potter to Brighton, that was a big mistake. But then they should have done everything they could to keep him. In terms of signings, they made some decent ones. Jamal Lowe, obviously coming from Wigan. Morgan Gibbs-White could be massive, coming in from Wolves on a loan.
I like him. He's a decent player, and I think he will do well in the Championship.
I think he just needs a better work rate at the time. I think that's when I've seen him, he's been lazy.
It can be very lazy. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even say a bit. I'd just say it can be very lazy at times.
Yeah, and Corey Smith coming on from Bristol City. He's got a lot of experience in the Championship. Alongside him, of course, Mark Guehi. Definitely butchered that name, comes in from the Chelsea under-23s.
No idea what you just said.
On loan, but if it's a loan going from Chelsea, you know he must be decent. He'll have a decent campaign. Freddie Woodman also comes in on loan. The thing is with Freddie Woodman, plays for the England under-23s, I want to say, or under-21 squad as their main goalkeeper. He won the Youth World Cup with them, so he's clearly got something about him on loan from Newcastle. And I think if he can have a standout season with Swansea, he could be playing for Newcastle next season when Dubravka eventually does drop off a bit.
It's hot.
Yeah, the good thing about Swansea, they haven't really lost any players. They've lost Mulder, Imogen and Sticks to Here Vernon, but he went on a free transfer, so he can't be anything special. No idea how to pronounce that name. Isn't anything special, to be honest with you, and I think Swansea, they just need a few more players before they can be pushed on. Mainly a striker, because of course they've lost Ryan Brewster now back to Liverpool. That's the main goal for them, definitely.
Yeah, next team, because I don't know who. I think you're on about Swansea there, but I'm not really too sure. Because I generally have no clue where we are, so I'm trying to work that out.
I'm trying to see who I haven't mentioned yet. Next, I'm going to go for Derby County.
Why would you put your indicator on so late?
Derby, of course, have had a lot of problems having to deal with the EFL. Obviously, they were being threatened by a point deduction before eventually it was overturned. A lot of rumours about EFL being bribed by Derby. We have no idea.
Is that us going right there, down there? I think it is that Opal. Do you reckon that Opal Hall sign up for down here?
I've got no idea. What's Circle Hall?
It's the park, but if I can get there, I know we are. Then on my way back, I'm just trying to work out if it is. Screw it, we're going down it.
Anyway, Derby brought in Mike Viervik from FC Groningen. No idea. On a free transfer, he's a decent centre back, and I think he could really do a job because obviously they were lacking a centre back. They've also brought in Matt Clark to partnership him. I remember him from his Portsmouth days playing with him on FIFA 16.
What a hill!
Alongside Adam Webster. But yeah, he's coming back on loan from Brighton. David Marshall in between the sticks. Again, a very decent signing. He's on quite a big wage though, however, and for his age, I think he's probably going to be there for maybe one season, maybe two at push. I think Derby have a decent squad, to be fair. They've pushed out the dead weight like Jonathan Mitchell, Scott Malone, Henrik Ravas, and of course Mason Bennett. Along with that, Ikechi Anya being released, that could be a bit bad because he's a decent player. He's got a good backup for the squad. I think if he was kept around, he could do decent. However, Derby, I think, again, an outside chance of the playoffs, and I think we're into the top 10 now, top 9?
Probably.
Okay, good. In 9th position or 8th position, or whatever we are, I'm actually going to go with Birmingham City. Well, I find them. Of course, lost Jude Bellingham for 25 odd million.
And then they retired his shirt number because they're stupid.
No, not worth that. Obviously, when
he's a quality player, he's young and that, but I don't think he's worth. Definitely not worth that.
No, he's the price.
He's definitely not worth retiring his number.
No,
that's all.
You can't retire. He's only had one season. I think he made 40 appearances. Didn't score that many goals. You can't go retire his squad number like he's some club legend only because he's got to move to Dortmund.
Yeah.
Like if every club does that, like Whoopi do, bloody Eze's got his move from QPR to Crystal Palace. Let's retire his shirt number.
Make more sense than Bellingham, to be fair.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't. They both had about the same amount of time at club.
Dortmund actually lost. Not Dortmand. Birmingham lost quite a few players. Alvaro Jimenez went back to Spain alongside Ivan Guzman. Kevin Marapti, bless you, also has a club. Jake Clark-Salter went back to his loan spell at Chelsea, and obviously Czech Hater, who was once touted to be a Premier League quality player, he's been released by the club, which is surprising to say the least. However, the reason I like Birmingham is in terms of additions, they've made some quality signings. Jonathan Lecco comes in from West Bromwich Albion.
Sorry lads, we're going to Oakwell Hawk because I think we should have gone that way.
Obviously was well known a few years ago for being a decent player in the Premier League. Had a launch about Charlton last season and did decent enough. George Frenning comes in from Middlesbrough. John Torral from Hull.
Sorry, were you laughing at me whistling there? Jack, we're on a podcast.
John Torral comes in from Hull City, which is again
try not to run over a dog.
Decent signing, Jack, be careful.
Sorry lads, I'm trying not to run over dogs here.
Ivan Sanchez could be a massive signing for them. He comes in from Elche. I had a look at them from manager because I was doing a Birmingham save and I love his players.
You son.
4-star out of 5-star, that is quality for a winger. He's only 27 years of age. Andres Prieto has come in as a backup keeper. However, again, on foot manager, quality player. I know FM doesn't mean much, but they're making some decent signings. Oh, I've gone off it. By all means. Adam Clayton, a bit of a more experienced player, I believe, former Town, I believe, as well.
I don't like it. And we're fine.
I'm going to smash it.
As you can see, I've had a nosebleed.
Right.
Let's get going.
Slight halt on complication there, and we have no idea where we are at the table, but I've 8th or 7th or just outside the playoffs. I've gone Coventry City.
Did they just get promoted?
They did.
Well, why are you putting it so high then?
Just wanted to test see if you two actually listen. Anyway, I've gone Coventry.
Well, of course I'm listening. I'm not driving at the minute.
I think they've made some fantastic signings, and that's generally it. Gustavo Hamer coming in from Pek Zwolle is a decent signing. Again, a winger which they needed. Julian Da Costa, a right back which they needed, brought him in. Callum O'Hare could potentially be the signing of the season for them. An attacking midfielder who did it really well last campaign for them in League One, and I think getting him on the permanent transfer when he was wanted by so many other clubs is outstanding.
Come on,
along with that, they brought in Ryan Giles on loan from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Again, could be a real decent signing. Was on loan at Shrewsbury last season. Leo Ostigard from Brighton, decent player. Got a very good defence going for them, and I think which could be the signing of the season for them. Tyler Walker, a striker coming in permanently from Nottingham Forest. He's proven himself time and time again at the lower leagues, and he's just never really had his chance at the Championship. I think he's going to come in for them at Coventry because when they have a striker who does well for them, he does really well. Johnson Clark-Harris, Matt Godden, Matt McNulty a few years ago, absolutely lethal firepower. Callum Wilson back in his day when he played for Coventry. Yeah, that's where he came from.
Didn't know that.
They've just got a really good squad, I believe, and I think they've got a really good togetherness about them. Matt Robbins is a brilliant manager, and I can just see them pushing for the playoffs, definitely. West Brom considering second Carlin Grant bid after recently rejected 16.
God, I want like 25 for him.
They've got some players off the books who would take up a lot of wage. Jordi Hawula from Bradford, he was taking up the highest wage.
Former Huddersfield player.
Oh, is it? Oh yeah, you've got he was the highest wage at the club, and he's been let go apparently. Well, confirmed, which is good. The only bad news to them is that Zane Westbrook joined Bristol Rovers from them. He could have had a big part to play this season, but we move on to next in the league. I'm going to go for a bit of a different one. Nottingham Forest.
Quite low down then.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by Nottingham Forest. I think every season they're always tipped to be high, but they never seem to live up to expectations.
I'm not convinced by them, but I do think they will get in the playoffs. I'm just outside. I don't even know where we're at the minute, not going to lie.
I think we're just edge of playoffs or in play.
Right, well, I think they'll finish about 5th, so I don't know where we're at. But if we're at 5th, then congratulations, you finish in 5th.
But yeah, they've got Lyle Taylor, who's coming from Charlton, a very decent striker at this level. Jack Kovac, his move's been made permanent alongside Tyler Blackett. Fouz Mashuru, never heard of him, but he's joined from Malmo. Luke Freeman could be a massive sign. Obviously, he's fantastic at QPR a few seasons ago. He got his move to the Premier League with Sheffield United, but never really a chance there. And now he's back at Nottingham Forest. Well, not back, but he's at Nottingham Forest and he's doing well. The worst news for Nottingham Forest is the fact that Matty Cash has to, well, today, when we're recording this, depart the club and join Aston Villa for 14 million. That's bad news to them because he's an absolutely outstanding player and deserves to be playing in the Premier League. And he was probably one of their best players, to be honest with you.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, let me AC Milan. Yeah, I don't know who else I forgot.
Next.
I'm going to go Stoke City. Again, a club who I've probably left a bit high up here. But
they finished quite low last season.
Yeah, there's just a lot of people predict him to do really well because they've brought in some decent players. Morgan Fox, Stephen Fletcher's come in. He was obviously a great player for Sheffield Wednesday last season. John Obi Mikel, former Chelsea absolute stalwart. That's it actually. Yeah. Well, they've got a decent manager and I think they can do a really decent job in the Championship. We're going to move quickly on because we're going to try and wrap this up now.
You're a bit warm there, Jock. It is melting.
Next up, I'm going to go for Bristol City. Again, I think they'll be fighting in and around the playoffs next season. They brought in decent players like Joe Williams, who's doing well at Wigan last campaign. Marley Watkins returns to the club after going out to Aberdeen. But that's it really, that's all they've really brought in, just Joe Williams, but that new side is expected to come in as soon as possible. They've lost Mike Taylor, who's gone to Oxford. Bailey Wright's gone to Sunderland. They haven't really lost someone massive, other than maybe Corey Smith.
Right, sorry to interrupt now. What are the odds this Audi behind me is going to try and overtake me when we get up this hill?
I didn't know there's an Audi behind us.
Yeah, there's an Audi RS3. What's the odds he's going to try and overtake me? Yeah, it is.
Next up then, I'm going to go for AFC Bournemouth.
I forgot they've been relegated.
Yeah, they've been relegated, but they haven't necessarily brought in any decent. Well, they haven't brought in anyone. They brought in Will Dennis, who's apparently come from their ball from the 21, so no one at all. I'm sure signs are expected, but they need to start rebuilding if they're wanting to bounce straight back. Harry Arter and the mandate off the ball and Asmir Begovic have all returned to the club. Could do decent in the Championship, definitely. I'm excited by Offerbar, who obviously had a great campaign, that's right. Yeah, at Wickham, did very well there. Got help them to get promoted. However, lost Nathan Ake, lost Aaron Ramsdale, lost Jermaine Defoe, lost Matt Butcher, lost Ryan Fraser, lost Jordan Ive, lost Andrew Sermon, lost Simon Francis, lost Charlie Daniels. They've lost a lot of good players who they're going to need to replace it, and they haven't brought in any signings yet, which is a big worry if you're a Cherries fan. However, I still think they've got enough quality in the squad to possibly get promoted, or at least the playoffs. So, yeah, moving on.
I agree with that. Actually, I think Bournemouth, I'm not necessarily saying they'll get promoted, but I am saying that they'll finish like relatively high.
Yeah. I just think they need a few more signings, to be honest with you.
Definitely. Well, if Callum Wilson goes, especially.
Yeah. Brentford then, I guess we're on to third.
Yeah, something like that.
Brentford then. I mentioned them, literally. Brentford are my team to just miss out on the automatic sim. It's very likely that they will lose Ollie Watkins, Simon Rammett and possibly even Brian Mbeumo. That's yet to be seen, of course. But for now, they have them, and that's great news for them because they've also brought in Ivan Toney, who was an absolute lethal force for Peterborough last season. He's joined for approximately 5 million according to his website. Yeah, I heard it was 10 million, but yeah, he could be an absolute weapon. If Brentford can make him into the type player they made Ollie Watkins into, who, bear in mind, joined from Exeter a few years ago and was an absolute nobody. If they can turn him into the type player Ollie Watkins became, then they've got an absolute player on their hands. Alongside that, Charlie Good, who got into the League 2 and my personal League 2 team this season at Northampton. A good sign for them again to boost their defence alongside possibly Pontus Jansson. Please come in for us, I believe. But then,
Don't say that.
moving on to the next two. I went for this pass.
I thought it was going that way. I was looking for it.
Moving on to the top two, then I'm going to ask you two for your opinion first. Well, you haven't really spoke, so I'm guessing you agree with me. But who's going to come out on top? Watford or Norwich?
I reckon Watford.
If Brentford can keep their players, Brentford.
Right? Really,
So yeah, if they can keep the players, then they're going to come top. But if they can't, then it'll be Norwich. Well, that's if Daniel Farker could get them played as they were in the Championship the first time round.
Yeah. Well, I think he's used to the league and it might be able to.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they could do Huddersfield, who did have a very good time in the Championship and in the Premier League, and then struggled, or they could do a Fulham who had a shocking time in the Premier League and then did all right in the Championship and got promoted again. So it just depends which one they turn into.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go for second place Watford though. I know, right? Just the signings they brought in. There'll be a link with Matt Grimes right now, who I think we mentioned earlier on was linked with in our previous podcast. I think it might have been, I can't remember one now. Palace, something like that. Anyway, they're linked with Matt Grimes, who could be an absolute lethal. I keep saying lethal, absolutely quality player for them in the Championship. He's captain of Swansea right now, and he's doing really well. But I think he's 24 years old. For me, one of the best players in the Championship. Could be a great sign for approximately £8 million. They've also brought in Jimmy Nagakia from West Ham under 23s. I've never heard of him, but I follow a few Watford fans on Twitter, and they were buzzing about the signing. So, along with that, Glenn Murray has joined them on a season-long loan.
Has he?
Yeah, which could be a big sign if Troy Deeney is to leave the club to West Brom, which is heavily rumoured to be coming true.
Wait, they're the same type of player, aren't they?
Yeah, but Murray's now 36, 37 years old. I think Watford fans are hoping he'll be a backup just because of his age. Well, but I think he's still got it. I think he could be a real target man for them.
He was alright. He was alright the first season in the Premier League for Brighton, and then obviously he's dropped off a little bit. But he could be alright in the Championship. Hopefully, he will be alright in the Championship because I do like Watford.
Yeah. A player returning from his loan to Watford, Luis Suarez.
Not that Luis Suarez.
Not that Luis Suarez. 22-year-old Luis Suarez coming back from Real Zaragoza.
Zaragoza.
How do you pronounce that? It was a bit of a controversial one, this one, because Zaragoza, no idea
I haven't got a clue.
they were playing in the second division of Spain's playoff final, and they were, however, because of the coronavirus, Suarez had to get recalled from his loan because it expired, and Watford refused to send him back to Zaragoza.
Ooh.
Just because, well, pettiness really, I guess, I don't know, because they didn't want to help him get promoted, no idea. But that's spat bad blood between them two, because Suarez is now, he's a Watford player, and I think he could be decent next season. He's playing in the Spanish second division, can he do it in the English second division? Ken Seymour returns from his Udinese loan deal. I think again a winger, something Watford need. He could be doing very well for them. Pacey, powerful, could be decent. Yeah, nothing really else to add.
Traffic.
But then again onto, I don't know about you two, but my personal tip for the title. Norwich City.
You said it wrong again.
I know, I realise when I was saying it.
Norwich. Ignore the W.
Yeah, they've had a massive rebuild job going on there. They brought in John Hugill, who did really well at QPR last season. I'm not going to try to pronounce this again, but Przemysław Placheta has joined from Slav Wrocław. Ballymumba, once a very highly touted prospect at Sunderland, has joined the club. Ben Ossiani, Sebastian Soto, Matthew Dennis, Jacob Luigi Sorensen, Xavi Quintilla, Oliver Skip. Big signing that.
Oliver Skip, wow,
yeah,
for Tottenham.
Did well at Tottenham. That's a loan deal that. Kieran Dowell has joined the permanent from Everton, a very decent player.
Dowell is, yeah.
Yeah, they've had a lot of loan players, a lot of new signings come to the club, and I think they've got it about them that they will be able to possibly push it for the title. Maybe a few more additions could be needed. However, it depends if they can hold on to Jamal Lewis, Max Aarons, Todd Cantwell. Who's the other one? was really good.
Timo
Pukki, Emi Buendia. We've got a lot of decent players, and the only players who've really lost are Sean Raggett, who's gone to Portsmouth, and that's really it, I guess. But yeah, that's why I'm tipping Norwich, I guess.
No, I do agree. If they can keep their good players, and Daniel Farker could get them playing as they should be, then 100% they will win the league. But I do believe if Brentford could keep hold of their best players, then they're in with a shout as well. Jack, any thoughts?
Exciting talk.
Yeah, well, I think that brings this episode of the Benchwarmers Podcast to a close. Sorry that it's been a bit hectic and poor camera and audio quality, and I've got a tissue stuck up my nose, and yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah, right.
I'd like to thank Jack and Gab for paying for petrol.
That's going to bring this week's episode of the Benchwarmers Podcast to a close. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, let us know if you want to see more videos like this. We're probably going to go on to our League 2 predictions now, which
We're not doing it driving, God.
me and Jack are excited about.
I'm not.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going to bring this week's episode to a close, and we'll see you all as soon as possible.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Thanks, Josh.
It's alright.
Thanks, Jack.
Bye. Jack's dead.